gosh, ignore the mess. Ignore the mess over in there. But welcome. I finally was I think you guys understand how much this means to me. I needed this. So basically, well, first card out in secret, we're just gonna show you guys this. It says that basically, there's a frequency energy. Hi, my name is Mimi. I go by Mimi. Okay. What'd you call it? It's like, you know, when people say, why are they standing outside of the club but they can't get in? And it's not usually because they're trying to get in, they're usually trying to peer in. You know what happens when people that stand outside of the club that can't get in get fed up about not being able to find their way in? They try to get someone who is a part of the club to record everything happening in the club. That's why such thing as spying exists. The only difference is that there is no club. It's just God. And there are people who know and people who don't. Sacral chakra is also about intimacy. And intimacy is the spark that happens whenever excellence, especially timing-wise, happens at the same time as mastery. Excellence and mastery, skill, draws focus. Through intimacy and focus, attention, perspective, and all that, glory is born. But like any birth ever, it takes pain, labor, hard work and dedication, so on and so forth. Yeah. I feel like I look so weird. High Priestess card was trying to come up upright, but this card came out in reverse. So you have wish fulfillment. Oh, this is what the affirmation was all about. This is what today's work was all about, right? Oh, wow. God is so great. There was really energies that were being projected. I've been trying to make this, I'm just going to say it right away because I don't complain. That's the difference. I don't complain. Intimacy gets ruined by complaining. And when people throw the projections of their own complaints of situations, that's where the competition begins. Because it's like, then there's a comparison because they're complaining. When one doesn't complain, then there's never competition. But that projection was going on and going on and on. You know, I'm just really figuring out, like, God is really that good, huh? Like, me, I was really worried about complaining for the longest time as well, because I'm not a complainful person. I don't complain at all about a situation. And I'm mentioning it because the only times that everything that I ever would have to ever worry about is already a prayer, is already solved. So it's like, all that it comes to is perceiving it, which is at the end of the day something of will, something of, you know what I mean? If you will, if there's a will, there's a way. So you gotta will yourself to actually perceive something, which is giving something a chance, or or taking a risk on a situation, or you know what I mean, taking a leap of faith. Um, and basically, there's a solution inside the complaint. That's why it's so annoying, because it's an improper utilization of power. Fuchsia, except for when it comes to God. And I think that's the big lesson. Like, when you speak your sorrows to the Most High, it's you giving him permission, which is, see, which means that yeah, there's a lot going on here. It's a if you know, you know kind of situation. Yeah, I knew it. It's if you know type of situation. And only prayer can help. Dang. My bad. And the way that it came out, um, it's not the way that it came out. It's more so the stigma around how it's said, right? Really caught me there. But what'd you call it? It's the only prayer can really assist that kind of energy. It's like when it's like you're saying, it's like people being like, there it is, high priestess. Okay, I finally got it. I finally caught it. So basically, it's like that's why fraud alert and scam alert came out a lot. It's like people with the tools to be able to assist in a situation, or like, let's say people who, fuck it. Actually, this is real. It's like people having the cure to cancer, right? But not administering it appropriately. There's a way that a cure can be administered, and the administration of the cure. You see what I'm saying? It's the stigma around it. That's what's throwing a lot of people off. A lot of people are lost in the sauce. What's the sauce? The stigma. Some people utilize the stigma to ride the wave. Honestly, that actually explains most of it. Yeah, hanged man. That's the perspective. Exactly. Temperance in reverse. Because the word stigma almost derives from shame. See, there's a lot of reversals, but yeah, exactly. The main cards that make sense are upright, but the ones that are like obviously not making sense are in reverse. But it's like, yeah, like I couldn't even perceive it if I wanted to. It's the energy of innocence that would, you know what I mean, disorient me, not the cards. So the thing is that these people think that because obviously innocence would have a certain, not have, but innocence holds a certain power. And that's another thing. Yeah, the fives are all in reverse. I don't want to. Yeah, exactly. I knew it. Exactly. With the death, I knew it. Look, death came out. And then there it is. Page of Pipes. And now we can turn to upright. Justice with the Justice came out upright. I said now we can turn. And then here. And then the Nine of Swords. I knew it. Nine of Swords, and then there's the King of Blood's energy. Ooh, yeah, King of Blood's upright. Yep, that's King of Pentacles. There was definitely something that was projecting endless stigmatic energy. Isn't that duality? Wouldn't stigma represent duality and not come from sorrow? That's what I'm thinking now. It's giving because High Priestess. Yeah, like, exactly. So maybe there was a deflection. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's a false administration of power, and it's being noticed now that it's specifically done energetically, spiritually, and that it's yeah, it genuinely people like people are like seeing that, like, that it's like it's the madness of seeing it that stops one's own self from actually acknowledging, like from being aware and being, you know what I mean? It's like that's where that's coming from. It's not derived from a negative space, which is where people under like people got have like would see. I couldn't even make it up. That's it's like something that is occurring right now, right? For example, was me about to give advice. What am I doing right now? I'm not giving advice. I'm providing a what is it? Like a notion or nah, like a not like a no, like a I had the word. Not had it. See? The word is within me and it's like it's on the tip of my tongue. It's the whole thing is like trying to shift and change and transform now. I think it's like taking me to the forefront of the situation to say an analogy. Yeah. What I was saying in the past was an analogy. So basically that's what I'm talking about. So it's like providing an analogy of a situation is differs greatly from providing advice in a situation. See, advice requires permission, but you can be like, yeah, John went to the bar, got drunk, and came back and didn't know that he, you know what I mean, slept with his wife that night. In the morning, he woke up and had a dream that he slept with someone, but he didn't realize who it was. So the whole week, he was trying to figure out who he had slept with, obviously giving off signs of cheating. But you see how a symptom can also be a lie? So it's like, that's what I'm talking about. There's a sort of situation where it's like, um, where you really got to understand, like, what stigma can do to a person and why trust is so important. What I've been doing for the past, what's his face now? 7, 8 years, 7 years, almost 6 to 7 years now. Yeah, it's 7 years now, almost 8 years, has been about overcoming the stigma, literally overcoming the stigma. Because what do you do with duality? You overcome duality. And much like perseverance, it's important to understand that the nature of God is one. And it's important to understand for a reason. And, you know, there's a reason that the day that he hath created forth first was the first day. It's important. And so that takes a lot of self-realization. That takes a lot of acknowledging. That takes a lot of accepting. It takes a lot of being. It takes a lot of wisdom. It takes a lot of growing and maintenance, and that's ripening. And then there's harvesting from it too. Like that's not even the end of it. Then you got to harvest it. Then later afterwards, you got to really master it. Eventually, you get to the point of finally integrating with the you know what I mean, full experience of that tidbit of wisdom. um and that's really the power of life. And that's why longevity is so important. And duality really brings it to perspective, you know. where flow is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that's mercurial energy. High Priestess though. Yeah, Four of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Ancestral. Yeah, there it is. So there was definitely a lot of like attempt to siphon, but that's where the stigma is in right now. Yeah, siphoning. Because there's no investment in that certain region. Yeah, that's why there's no backfire from like sending it back. Almost like it's like a shield. Because there was never any siphoning of energy, kind of like purity. That's why there's poverty, right? Because all the people who are poor are not stealing. That's why Bethlehem even exists. Because all the people who were at rock bottom only stayed there because they hadn't gotten to the top yet. You know what I mean? There isn't people that got to rock bottom without being there first. You see what I'm saying? That's Bethlehem. And so it's like yeah. And so, yeah, it's like literally, so it's like we know what it means to like be in that continuous cycle of growth and then demolition and then growth and then demolition and then growth and demolition. But that's also a cycle that ends. You see what I'm saying? Because it transforms into a bigger thing. But the thing that's being, like I said, the thing that's keeping the energy stuck is stigma. So overcoming the stigma, High Priestess energy right now has to do with intuitive ascension. So it's like higher discernment when it comes to stigma. People are ascending in their awareness of stigma and what's around it. I can't make it up. Four of Wands here with the full spirit. That's the leap of faith. And then there's home, literally. That's spiritual bounty as well. That's what's coming through. So see stigma. You see the importance of being aware? Because it's like now that the word has been spoken, right? It's what you call it? Spiritual bounty, right? There's no taking it back. So now the bounty is there. It's here. It's either about yeah, exactly. It's what it's for that draws it in. So remember I was talking about focus and glory and all that. So now it's about what the gift is attracting, right? Because there's a leap of faith. So now it's about what the Four of Wands is attracting. It's what the Holy Spirit is asking. Yeah, exactly. And it's about discovery, because that's what the journey is for. The journey is for discovery. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't even have to think about it. That's what I'm saying here. So when it comes to stigma, what is it for? You see what I'm saying? You get it now? That's what I'm playing with. What I'm playing with. Look, magic. Magic. And then there's the romance. So it's romance. Romance is what's around, is what it's for. Yeah. Romance is what it's for. And people have been attempting to utilize, or no, they've been maladministering stigma. And now there's karma, because it's been said. It's been put into words. And it's all, yup, there it is. King of Pipes with the strength. Archangel Michael coming through. You know what? That makes a lot of sense for the King of Pentacles energy. Wow, it was really a Game of Thrones type of situations going on. Like, I'm just looking at it like, what's. I have gotten a lot of notifications throughout this reading. That's the first one that. That's how you know. Oh, wow. Yeah, Ace of Buds. Victory goes to God because it's through the gift. It's through the gift. It was through romance. Because I was just seeing this. I was just like, wow. What? That was me romanticizing it, wasn't it? It's a wow, they're really attacking me because I'm romanticizing a situation. Because they can't read beyond the stigma, but they want to get to the romance. See how matrices works? Mm-hmm. Look, the card wanted to come out like, yeah, walking away. That's over. It's over. Yeah, King of Joints. Ah, Queen of Joints. Ah, you see what I'm saying? Queen of Wands energy. They really thought the Hierophant. That's what I thought. No, they really thought that they were gonna try and play on the false stigma of what they really believe Jesus is and isn't. No, because they really thought Queen of Joy, they thought they really were playing around like with the wrong thing. No wonder. Ugh, there's alignment coming through. Let me just tell you, Knight of Buds with the Knight of Bongs energy, alignment is about to like that because that's what I thought. That's what I thought with the King of Pentacles. It's about something that is it's an emolument. An emolument literally is something that aligns in divine order. It's like a company of divine order. It's accompaniment of divine order. That's the only thing. And that's why I said that's the only thing is prayer. Astaghfirullah. 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 No wonder. No wonder. Innocence. No, because this is what it's like when I'm. Okay, let me. King of, thank you, Archangel Gabriel. Okay, Page of Buds. So this is because it was supposed to start. Okay, so now they're okay. So here it is. So here it is. Page of Buds energy. Okay, this is if you're lucky, right? If you're lucky, yeah. If you're lucky, that's not all. That was 3 kings, right? Yeah, 9 of Pentacles. Okay, Ace of Pipes, Sweet Tooth. Someone's trying to call me a sweetheart. Someone thinks I'm too sweet. I felt a shine. No, I felt the shine. I felt a shine. The shining. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, I told you not to fall. Okay. I can't stand it when I download an app for something and it literally undownloads itself. So then when I try to look for it, I go to like, my gosh. Isn't that a complaint? Okay. You see why I gotta get through this energy real quick? What was it again? forepart of the leg below the knee. Yeah. Oh, that's the shiny? I actually didn't think it was like that. Wait, let's see the summary. Because here comes Johnny, right? People like, have you not seen the movie? That girl was so pretty. She's so pretty, dude. Like, the main actress. Wait. Shelley Duvall. I actually really think Shelley Duvall is so pretty. Isn't there a song, Shelley Duvall? No, that's the song I was thinking about. Honestly, it was about the song. What's that about? Sorry, this is like prime right now. That's why 9 of Pentacles. It's like, oh, is this like me minding my own business inside and like, or something? I don't know. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. That's the one.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. 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 Hello.
She passed away.
I'm Shelley Duvall. Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
I just looked at her and she was on a white horse. She's sitting on a throne. I was literally like, rest in peace. I literally thought about it. But now that it's said, she was literally standing on top of like a mountain, like a little white little thing, and she's like wearing like yellow with black inside. What was that about? What was that about, Holy Spirit? What was the message behind that, Holy Spirit? Isn't that paranoia? Yeah, that's paranoia. 10 of Swords. Yeah. That's the paranoia. Yeah, there it is. Ace of Buds. There it is. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. You got a lot of time on your hands, huh? Basically, that's the energy. You got a lot of time on your hands, huh? You seem like you got a lot of time on your hands. Yeah, discovery. So basically, it's like people like I already talked about. No, this was already said, but there was like an energy of like trying to like divert, like diversion, cause a diversion, but like there's the paranoia is to cover that up, to cover up the diversion. But that's like a, yeah, exactly. There's the Emperor. Sorry, that's, it was a raspberry. It was a blowing a raspberry, because that's why Blasberry. It's a Blasberry. Okay. It's a Blasberry. But there's that energy. Yeah, no, this is what it's giving. The Emperor's like, so there's a new way stigma, the stigma behind unrest. So this is why I'm healing it. This is why I'm healing around this, because it's like there's romance. And yeah. Oh. Oh, okay. I didn't think, no, because I started blushing. Judgment is here with the Queen of Bongs energy. Yeah, that's basically Four of Pentacles. So it's giving intimacy, like I thought. And so when it comes to intimacy and the sacral chakra, food is involved. Food is for the stomach, okay? This is why God speaks through Jesus, writes through Jesus, wrote through Jesus, scripted through Jesus, that it be known that food is for the stomach. And intimacy works everywhere, not just the stomach, not just the groin, and not only the weird places, all you weirdos out there. Okay, just making sure. Yeah, five of wands. Yeah, there it is. And they're the ones that's the energy. Now it's being isolated. So there's that energy, that impulsive frequency that I was saying. It was a force limiting intimacy, falsifying exclusivity, which is where people would be cheating from. That's where the cheating was coming from. That's where it was coming from. That's where the thievery, I should say, the stealing was coming from. That one. It was where that sin was coming from. That's being cleared out. Yeah, exactly. Ace of Wands reverse. That shit's not hot. That's just not sexy. That's just not, it's not turning anything on. That shit is to turn off, in fact. That's what that energy is. Yeah. And now Innocence is celebrating. Yay! Okay, that's so good. Okay, that's so good. That's so good. All right. Yeah! Because then if you really look at it from all angles, it shows like, oh, it's an innocent third bystander, or sorry, not bystander, innocent third person, or innocent perspective, or innocent, you know what I mean, party. Hey, joy. That's joy. Yay! Because they were, yeah. So there it is, death in reverse. That's longevity. Yay! Yeah, the world. The world. Wow. Amen. Amen. So what is their gratitude for in this situation? The lesson that's been learned in this situation is the power of joy, the power of optimism. The devil in reverse, reverse, reverse. It's going back to sender. It couldn't even, it couldn't even arrive. Oh no. Yeah, wow. That was what it was that they were saying. Now you guys know my power as well. That is what it was that they were saying whenever it was that they were trying to make fun of Queen of Cups energies, or women who, you know what I mean, are extremely self-compassionate. So it's like people who are like, it's like very highly intuitive individuals. You gotta be extremely self-compassionate to hold so much intuitive power and presence in reality, because it's like when you understand that company don't love misery back, then you will understand that company isn't the evil. And that's where alignment really comes through, because it's like there was truly people, like there was truly like projections of mishaptual blockages in order to cause confusion in journey, in pathway. So it's like a lot of healing that was supposed to been had occurred, but definitely not due to or despite some other action occurring. Yeah. So it's like there's parallels. Exactly. So it's like people are starting to learn about parallel timelines and time hopping, quantum leaping, jumping, all that jazz. Yeah. And it's like people can't, they can't try and they can't try and capitalize off of it the way that they thought that they could. Whatever it is, however way it is that people were thinking of capitalizing off of this frequency of time travel, what time travel really is, what it really means, quantum, all this stuff. You guys collective are seeing a true time traveler, and they can't exploit whatever resources that the intimacy of that power expresses with God. You know what I mean? There's no like, it's like the same way. That's why pride is falling now. Because it's so funny how everyone wants to have sex and have the right to say who and what they can have sex with. But the moment, right? The moment that people would rather be intimate with God, and there's prime reason, and people want to stay intimate with God, people want to remain, you know what I mean, with God, and you know what I mean, tell people about it, suddenly there's a problem. Suddenly that's pride. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's why they can't do that anymore, because they can't translocate assets and resources anymore to try and make it seem like everything can be for one reason and one reason and only that reason alone. That's prideful. That's Luciferian. And we don't deal with that. You see why it fell? And so I wanna put the orientation like this, because of Neptunian code. I gotta keep the phone like this. It's strange. I can't explain it. Or like that. You see, it doesn't work like that. If I do like this, maybe. Oh, shoot. Hey, what's up? What's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my reading. This is going to be how I'm going to read from now on. What if I just flip the cards like this so you guys can see? Stop! That's... Take me home, country roads, to the place that I belong. Let me not go to West Virginia, please. Anyway, Empress. Empress. Wait, no, why am I apologizing? No, let's laugh harder. Let's laugh harder. Is that even possible? Is it possible to laugh even harder? God? Oh, sorry. Wow. Last time, you guys. This is the last time I'm gonna do the reading like this. I think I just really started understanding something. It started looking funny. But I knew this for a while, and that's why I had been accused of what I had been accused of before. But it's not because I didn't stop immediately. I did stop immediately. I How do I explain this? I didn't understand what was going on. Like, I knew what was happening, but I didn't know what was going on. So even if I stopped, it would have been unclear. So it was like, exactly. So there was still going to be some sort of misery in a situation. So this is something you guys collective may be feeling related or relatable to. Okay. You might feel like there's something. Okay. It's just an example. Remember, anecdotal. You might feel like there's a situation where, oh my gosh, this works perfectly. Okay, so God is so good. So it works. I didn't really think about it, but I'm saying it based off of how it's being translated in autonomously. Okay. So basically it's like you might do something, or you might try to get into something, or you might, you know what I mean? There's an action when sometimes administering an action takes much more potential than you think. Some actions take years to accomplish even before you think of doing them. And that's why God is the best secret keeper ever. That's why when you give God any kind of feeling or any kind of surrender or any kind of anything, you give him anything, you give him your whole self, and he knows how to show you, to teach you. And it's not about giving, it's about the permission, because it's less about, that's what I'm saying, it's about administering the action. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, it's learning, it's the lesson of consent. It's the true and honest lesson of consent. That's how deep it goes. That's how it is. That's just how it is. Because there's already been truth revealed as to why it's that deep. And to the dismay, and that's really what it is, to the dismay, because I was saying March too, right? And then I said spring when it's May, duh. So to the dismay, right? You see what I'm saying? Of the correction. And that's what it is. Administration of correction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Swords energy. So this is where people, you know, when people say spare not the rod of the child energy, it's kind of like that. It's like administering punishment, administering saving, administering refuge, just like administering any action. If administered appropriately, does not create negative karmic consequences, regardless of how it looks. Because it is in divine order, in divine orchestration. 8 of Swords. But this is a learnt skill. You see what I'm saying? It's something that is mastered. It's why not everybody can be a dominatrix for 44. Not why, and why, see? It's why not everybody, see, that's the unrest. It's, you can literally hear it. Yeah. That's literally why. Not everybody can be a dominatrix. Not everybody can be a dom. Not everybody can be a dominion. Not everybody's a dominion. And that's kind of like the energy. Yeah, the Empress. Exactly. Maybe that's the reality that people gotta like recognize. Yeah. That's what we mean by hierarchy. So let's see real quick. Hello. I really don't know anything about Shelley Duvall. All I know is that I'm trying to eat. I'm trying to be eat. I'm trying to be. That's what's going on right now. Can you just work? Do you know like you know when you like you know what I mean? See, now they're trying to make me forget everything I was just thinking about. That's what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm talking about, bro. This is what I'm talking about, bro. Not everybody can hold the power. Look. You see, I can't make the shot. I rebuke you. Not by force. Always by force. What happened to fire? Yeah, that's given to God. Yeah, that's maybe, but I figured it out. Fuck it. I don't even, I'm gonna look it up later. Oh, sorry, excuse me, Lord. Yeah, but that's another thing. It's like, yeah, like these are people who believe that they are dominatrix, they're dominions, they're part of divine order, hierarchy, stuff like that. But you know what? Fuck it. I don't even want to say that shit. More so that there are these people who think that they understand a full context of a situation, but really they wouldn't even understand two sides of the situation. The forward and the latter. That's it. That's the two sides of the situation, the forward and the latter. And there's always a forward and a ladder to each representation. So each person has two coins in this two sides of a story. To get a full context of a story, you must understand your own duality so that you can see all the sides of a situation. Yeah, five pentacles. Then that's what's taking us out of the Five of Pentacles energy. Because the thing is that about being in Five of Pentacles energy is that you grow through the Five of Pentacles energy. You got 5 pentacles. Make it 6, make it 7, make it 8, make it 9, make it 10. Until you understand that you are 10. And then you get double your rewards. Queen of Buds energy is like the energy that's here. Exactly. And this is what I mean here. It's like someone doesn't want to restore balance. They want to invoke it. Yeah, exactly. They want to invoke balance. They don't want to restore it. And the thing about it is that you can't, it's not that you can't misrepresent. See what I'm saying? It's not wise to misrepresent anything at all. Page of Joints energy. But there's a there's either a true capacity to demonstrate skill, or there isn't. And for them, there isn't. That's the it. It's the capacity to demonstrate skill. That's the it factor. Six of Pentacles. So wherever it is that you demonstrate skill the most is where you're prone to grow in naturally and organically. It's where you put in most work unconsciously, subconsciously, and consciously at the same time. It's literally your pathway. And it's a gift. And one can only really understand the value of that gift through compassion, self-compassion especially. Because because I might not be Jesus, but my truest self might as well be type of energy. Yeah, Five of Swords. And there's a lot of people that don't get the capacity to demonstrate skill. And that's actually a deliberate thing. It's not something that comes from the divine. That's actually something that is the effect of something that had been done by the same individuals who the cycle had been closed out on, aka they were left behind. Ten of Wands. Yeah, with the Wheel of Fortune. All that is behind. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, that is. Yeah. Now I gotta turn these upright with Judgment in the back. Just because, yeah. Five of Wands is like, remember by fire, by force? The fire is here, yeah, passion. And then the force of God. Like innocence. Remember when I talked about innocence just has a, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm talking about. It's like there are people who don't will themselves to, they don't like actively simulate for themselves the capacity to demonstrate skill work for themselves or for God first. It would have been better, but even for themselves. And that's where it's like, that's where they attempt to cover up laziness. That's where you can find the laziness. That's the other one. That's the other sin. Because, yeah. Exactly. So it's all literally, yeah, and that's where they get stuck at. So that's the mental prison energy. So the laziness is in there, is mentally caught. Yeah. The laziness for them is mental. See, for right now, like I'm laying down, like my shit hurts, like my body actually hurts, so I'm laying down. But they would have been sending me the laziness energy to me, so I would have been worried. But now I'm not, like I don't really like feel it anymore. That's because the cycles close out. Because God closed it out. Because the lesson was learned. Because God taught it. God taught the lesson. All that was what we were waiting for. We were waiting God to just to teach the lesson. That's it. Once God taught the lesson, that's it. Yeah, we learned, like literally, period. And people, yeah. That's it. Lovers. The card came out like that, just so that you guys know. Like, lovers. Lovers, so this is another thing. Lovers is the energy of that Gemini duality. You see, these two buds are still buds. They're still buds. There's two different buds. You see what I'm saying? They're two buds of the same bundle. And romance. And you see the romance around them? The stigma. Look at the stigma. That's a hybrid. That's a hybrid. Hello. That's a hybrid. That's a hybrid. But then there's romance. God loves me though. God loves duality though. God loves us though. Right? God loves the world too though. So you can't even hate on the world for real, for real, for real, for real. You see? It's about demonstration. Demonstration. I love it because in Russian you call it demonstrace too. So it's like it's not even it's not even different. There was another word like that too that I was trying to look up. But this one I found easily. Proof that something is true. Proof that something is true. To point out, to indicate. So to indicate, right? To indicate. Look at that. Decay, right? Let's look at that. Decay. What is that? Decadence. Isn't that decay? Okay, let's just do indicate then. Indicate. Indication. Diction. Yeah. Diction. Yeah. Assign and yeah. Indicate. Diction. You see? And that's when I was talking about why people should be aware of like literacy and all that jazz, because like you got diction over there and people trying to do spelling, and people trying to block people and attack people for doing spell work, which might just be spelling the right words correctly and knowing what they mean, which might be the stigma, you know? That might maybe that's really what it means. And so that's being also cleared out, which is why when people would go, it's magic, like, you see why it would be like, what are you trying to do? You know what I mean? What's the agenda? What is it for? What is it for? You see, because there would be a stigma, but then there would be a hidden different stigma behind an agenda, behind a stigma, behind this, and that's how they were trying to confuse people. And now the confusion doesn't work anymore. There's just never no of any confusion. There's never any confusion. Yeah, and there's the correction. Yeah, there. Harmony and romance. And so blushing, right? I get bashfulness. Is it bashful? I could not be fucking clearer. To be filled with consternation or dismay, abashed, perplexed or embarrassed by suddenly exciting to conscious discomfort, make ashamed. And this is what I was talking about, why it's so important to like let go of stigma. Because it's like, it's bowing, exactly. A base, look at that. Bowing, exactly. And now it's being received. And now that it's being received, it's like it's being granted to God, to the Most High. So now it's like a cyclical connection to the Most High. It's like everything that was supposed to be given to the Most High, that's clear, good, pure, innocent, and like for the Most High, it's been given to the Most High. Everything that's bad, evil, all that jazz that needs to be cleared out, that the Most High is capable of clearing out, only Him, then the Most High clearing. That's how it's working now. Yeah, exactly. It's like there's the projection. Remember when I talked about the agenda Yeah, it's like inescapable. There's some this inescapability, but not, but they didn't count on not everybody being not being afraid to of not being able to escape, right? Some people like it being inside kind of energy. And so it's like um there's like a surrender, right? There was an agenda to like cause, like, what is that called again? Like to cause false domination to acquire surrender in order to, abase, to diminish, make lower in value or status, lower oneself. And that was all the projection around something that was a stigma or seen as a stigma. Yeah. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. With the 8 of Pentacles and the Lover's energy coming through, it's like production value. Where there's production and then there's value, and then there's production value. You see? There's production and then there's value, and then there's production value. It's like, yeah. Impotence was the curse. In a way, remember when I said turn off? Impotence is the curse. Yep, impotence was the curse. Yep, death in reverse. I remember I said like unending. And that then people thought they were gonna be sad, something like that, right? Exactly, 10 of Wands. And there it is, 6 of Pentacles. So it's like, remember I brought this card out earlier, and I expressed something with you guys, right? There it is. All that energy was surrounding like an expression, right? An expression, and give and take, sharing, all that jazz is an expression. That's expressivity, expressiveness. And so expressing abasement, making oneself lower, right, is a type of surrender that is considered devotion to the Most High, right? It is still considered. Yeah, exactly. Look, there's great love here. There's great love here. Queen of Pipes energy is Queen of Swords as well. Yeah, exactly. It's great love, which is just showing that the Queen of Swords is capable of expressing romantic expression. So it just says that, like, which is art. Wouldn't that be like artistic, and like, exactly, that would be creative, right? Yeah, Queen of Swords is very creative, very creative. I mean, it's air sign energy, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, as the creation energy. You know what I mean? Um, so it's like, yeah, that's why Jupiter and heaven and romance and stuff. And so when it comes to romance, like, that's why Aquarius is the water bearer, right? The one that bears the water. See what I'm saying? It holds. She's the maker of the vase too. The fuck, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm saying here. It's like there's a lot of like, okay, here's another one. It's giving Cupid. Cupid wouldn't come up as an archangel and archangel energy. So I'm utilizing, let's say, Cupid. I'm like, I'm not Aries. I'm not Aries. It's Eros right there. I'm like, yeah, it's Eros. So like, oh. Yeah, Eros. Yeah. So you hear? So Eros energy, that's what I'm saying. So this frequency, that frequency is like Eros. And that's basically what it is. It's like erotica. And there's a lot of stigma around erotica. Yep, that's all it is. That's what it is. Erotica, erotic. Yep, there it is. King of pipes with the ace of pipes. Yeah, that's the truth. Yep. And so there was a lot of stigma around, yeah, and it's like because there's that energy, impotency, the curse. And you see, breaking the curse of impotency comes about by expressing true eroticism, only true eroticism. Well, that's prayer. That's through intimacy with the Most High God. See? So that's another thing. Yeah. It's an opportunity to reflect. Yeah. And then there's the deflecting energy. Or sorry, there's secret. The hermit. The fool. Right there. King of pipes. It's like yeah, that's the lie. Wow. That's the Luciferianism, isn't it? Yeah. Yep, there it is. Again. So, the way to correct, it's like, I'm so scared of God, yo. That's what it's giving. It's like another stigma around fear. Oh my goodness. I don't know how to explain it, y'all. The stigma is around, the stigma is like a something in disguise as the devil. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, exactly. It's destiny. That's it's destined. The stigma is destined. Okay, it's the way that it works. Okay. It's the word of the matter. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a word of the matter. There's people that look for word, the word, a word, one word to describe something that matters. It materializes. That's how things are realized. For crying out loud, for Christ's sakes. I think that's about it. Honestly, yeah, sharing. There it is. There it is. Now there's shareable magic. Now there's shareable magic. So now that there's real magic, shareable magic, it's all being given to God. So people were trying to make something exclusive on the behalf of the Most High rather than just giving it to God, it seems. Yeah, and that was the impulsive decision. Did I say people were trying to make it seem shareable or do something that was shareable? It's more so like yeah, anyway, look at that's the Luciferian energy that went through. But it's like people were trying to share something that wasn't theirs is what I was trying to say. Like people were trying to share something that wasn't theirs instead of providing to God what it is that they would like to share to receive a share of something else. You see what I'm saying? If that was what they wanted. But instead, pride. And so, yeah, there it is. There was where they wanted to fight. They wanted to manifest a fight. They wanted to fight physically. They wanted to fight. They wanted a violent action caused. Yeah, but that was left behind. So then that's the Two of Cups. So something was stigma. There it is. And it was like they were falsifying proof of data and information by performing around it in stigmatic patterns. So let me see stigmatic patterns and falsify stigmatic patterns, or even maybe real stigmatic patterns. Oh wait, I'm literally Googling that. Consisting or conveying a mark of disgrace. Wow. Stigmatics apparently bearing the wounds of Christ's crucifixion. A person bearing stigmata. There it is. A mark of disgrace. Look, marks corresponding to those left on Jesus' body by the crucifixion, said to have been impressed by divine favor on the bodies of... Yeah! Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Of St. Francis of Assisi and others. Bodily wounds, scars, and pains appear location. Yeah, because I be scratching, even like over here, and like, oh man, like you don't get it. Bruh, sometimes I remember I'll be walking and my whole leg will cramp up right in the middle, right there, right there. Oh man, that shit. I'll be on some let me go. Like wait. Hierophant, no, because that literally came from the soul. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a romance. Oh my gosh, Archangel Gabriel came through. But there's a romance, and this is what I'm saying. These are the things that happen, and they have to be acknowledged. And these people didn't like. It's like they didn't want to bear the burden of the crucifixion, right? They didn't want to bear the burden of the crucifixion. Some of us were there, right? Some of us were fighting for him not to be crucified. We're like, what? You're gonna do what to him? Some of us were doing that. Meanwhile, like, not everything was about y'all niggas and bitches and hoes that actually did the shit. Like, actually, motherfuckers also want to play games when it comes to that. So, like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Ten of Swords. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, but it's be hype. It's that splat. It's that splat. Yeah, the Chariot is here. Strength. King of Pipes. Yeah, that's the King of Swords energy. The Queen of Joints. Queen of Wands energy. Wild energy. Wilderness. It's like going, like, it's like, you know what it is? Do you ever see a lion walk by another lion that's dying and sneer at it, like scoff at it? Have you ever seen an animal watch something else go through something and express displeasure of that creature's frailty? Like, what is going on there? Like, that's what I'm thinking about. Let me ask ChatGPT. Has there been a recorded scenario where an animal has mayhap scoffed at another animal, or maybe presented some sort of expression of ineptity when it came to another animal's frailty in concerning or disconcerting themselves? Appears to be ridicule. There it is. Ridicule, disdain, or indifference or struggles or weaknesses. Indifference doesn't count. Let me see. So primates do social mockery. So they literally mock and mimic. So they're like mimicking animals, like parrots. Are we parrots too? I'm sure we are, right? You parrots. I remember being I remember that. You parrots. That's what they are. These motherfuckers is parrots, by the way. That's what I call them. You parrots. All you do is repeat shit. Repeat stuff, repeat stuff, repeat stuff. You monkeys type shit. That's a little racist. Nah, 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 nah. Not to me. Oh my gosh. Can we laugh harder? Um, yeah. There it is. So in wolves, they might growl or yeah, but often accompanied by tail flagging or lip raising. Dang, so it's encouragement or it's like genuine like or it's tough love. Exactly. Both of it just seems like love. Elephants. Period. Well, you got me at elephants. Um elephants are yeah. Younger males ignored or even pushed aside dying herd members, especially non-matriarchal males. Disconcerting indifference. What is that about? Maybe it's a memory issue. Well, non-matriarchal. So it's a non-matriarchal thing? Birds, even parrots, there they are. So this is something that like genuinely women wouldn't be able to truly grasp. Like, yeah, a woman can have both divine masculine and divine feminine energy in her. But like she'll never fully be in divine masculine energy because she's not meant to. Unless you're talking about the oneness. Remember when I told you about? See the stigma? See why there's stigma around women as well? Because men don't carry that same stigma. But some men carry the stigmata. That's another thing. And women have periods. That's why there's even the stigma there to begin with. That's why. So, but that's what I'm saying. Three swords. So you see, that's why there's, oh my gosh, wish fulfillment in reverse. See, it all came full circle. So this energy, Two of Wands in reverse, is displeasure. You can't get on a journey without pleasure. When you're given and provided pleasure, right? When you're given and provided pleasure, collective, it's so that you can truly like capacitate your skill set. Oh, wow. And truly bountiful are filled with pleasure. And truly the bountiful are filled with pleasure. Exactly. And that is something, so people who are, well, there's the envy. People who pretend to be indifferent, that's where the envy is coming from, right? They pretend to not care about a situation because they fear the complaining about the situation, but that's why this is stigma. It's all in the lesson, right? They are and so yeah, exactly. It's all in the lesson. Truly, if you know, you know. And so it's like your abundance is safe because it brings you pleasure. And that means that it's meant for you. And you would truly be, see, it's all in the lesson. You see what I'm saying? And that's why karma is real. It's like there's a lot of heartbreak that was being projected and being fought against that's being sent back to sender. There was no heartbroken here. Yeah, Queen of Pipes with the gift here. The Emperor. Yeah, there was no heartbroken here. Yeah. If not, the world would have ended. And I'm talking about the earth. Yeah. Not because I would have been heartbroken, but because the heart of the galaxy is the earth. So attempting to break my heart, you would have to go through quite a bit to get there. Like, you would have to get through quite a bit. And that doesn't mean that, like, intergalactic travel is definitely real. And you can definitely reach different dimensions of Earths, different Earth dimensions. It's just that, you most definitely don't want to fuck with the one that you're on. Those definitely don't want to fuck with the one that you're on. And that's the cycle complete. All right, guys. Okay. This is a thing. So this is of the world energy. That mental conflict is of the world. Okay. So remember that you are not of the world. You're just in it. I just work here. Right. I just work here, but I live on Earth. But the Earth is my home. Yeah, there it is. And yeah, I mean, well, heaven is my home. The earth is my, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, yeah, the earth is kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, bruh. It's like force of nature. It's like it's just giving Mother Gaia. Like the earth, like it's giving woman. That's just what it's giving. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, exactly. Queen of Buds. Yeah. Okay, now it makes sense. That's the Queen of Pentacles. It's the earth. It would be the earth mother. That makes sense. I literally just told you guys something I already knew, like it was my first time figuring it out. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell people. Like, God really be doing that. Like, I'll be like, wow, wait a minute. It's called a rediscovery. Star. Right. Okay. Anyways, that's the end of the reading, you guys. The temperance in reverse, that energy is like being put to perspective, right? That's another thing. That's this energy right here. That's doing this right here, being put into perspective. So there's alignment, and the wish fulfillment is always happening. It's always occurring. This card must not mean wish fulfillment the same way that it might have been perceived as. It might just be space, pressure. It's giving space and pressure. It's kind of the energy of clap too, but like fresh, ripe. Like deservingness, actually. That's what it is. Deservingness. Glory. Deservingness and glory cometh forth. Truly. Yeah. And yeah, that's what's going to come through. Because this energy, that energy is being sent back to sender. That energy of like, yeah, not expressing glory, not expressing God's glory, not, yeah, exactly, which is what they were lacking because they didn't know that it was God's glory. They thought it was, yeah, they thought they could claim it for themselves and act as if it was their own shit, as if they made it themselves and everything like that. But really, it's God's glory that we're expressing. And that's why we give many thanks, and we also provide lots and lots in support of God's glory, and that's what it is. We don't we don't pay God back for anything. No. We use what God pays us with to support him. And it's honestly a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. It's sanctified. It's beyond, like, honestly, it's like what is it called again? Yeah. It's work well done. And it feels like that is an achievement. Yep, maybe that's what that is. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Achievement. Investment, achievement is also integratedness, mastery kind of energy. Yeah, and that's what it is that people they're starved for. Exactly. That's what they want to rip away from innocence. So we're all born with that integratedness, right? And then there's the transition of the joy, the fun, the third party, like the segue into into adulthood where we master this frequency. But that energy, the Five of Swords energy, was the injustice. That's what caused all the delays. And that's all the mental warfare and shit like that, which would be like hormonal imbalances and stuff due to bad food and, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Lots of mental stuff going on, especially a lot of mental warfare, a lot of mental warfare for the past fucking how many generations. The impotence was the curse. Mental warfare was the cause. You remember, you see what I'm saying? But then later on, it was like people trying to act like a mental conflict was the effect. And trying to play like impotence was the cause. It's the issue. Yeah, so now Four Swords energy is like, yeah, it's over. It's done, bro. When I tell you it's done, it's fucking done, bro. It's like the energy of dark spirit. Damn. I feel like I'm wearing the nerdiest glasses right now. If only all y'all could understand how I feel. The world is here with the strength card. Yeah, justice is here with the hermit. It's like, it's not about studying. It's about being studious. And studiousness allows for affirming. Um, and affirming allows for maintaining. So, like, adulthood is less about getting shit done and more so about accepting the fact that you've gotten shit done. Like, that's what it is. Yeah, I figured that's what it was. That's what was my day today. That was how my day went today. That was my day. It was like, okay, did I do anything? It's like, yeah, I think I did do something. Yeah, okay. I think it worked out. Can I be convinced otherwise? No. Yes. Hmm. That's the question. And I'm kind of like stuck on that a little bit. And that's what I'm saying. Because that's what's like kind of like that's the mental conflict. And so yeah, the world is coming through saying it's your choice, like you decide. But this is also the energy of liberation. It's like knowing I'm free. But then it's like also acknowledging that I'm free. But then it's also this side effect. The byproduct is like thinking, oh, well, you didn't think that you were free before. That's what I don't like. That's what I don't. And that's what's actually causing the mental conflict. And that's what I'm saying. Oh, shit, look at that. That's what I'm saying. It literally closed out. Literally. Romantic threats. It's a threat to romance. They're projecting big threat to romance energy. And that's where that is. That's where that is. That's where that issue is, that mental conflict. Yeah, because they were trying to throw it at the houses, like the the astrological stuff. Literally, they were trying to throw it as like as a form of espionage. Wow, wow. Archangel Michael really came through with that opportunity. Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh. Sorry. It's like I went from Asia Buds all the way to the Temperance Angel so quick with the magician energy frequency, with the earth power. Yeah. Because it's like matriarchal, right? So now it's being like returned back to sender to like false matriarchs. That's why. Yeah, it's all death in reverse. Yeah, it's being sent back to like to false matriarchs, people who were never a part of the matriarchal. Yeah, system. The system of matriarchy, which runs by protocol. Duh. Anyways. Yeah, something wasn't exactly. They weren't Fuchsia, stop. This is for example like that. Get down. Okay, that's what I mean. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Stuff that isn't like of protocol. They wanted to make things out of protocol. They wanted to fabricate illusion, seemingly including protocoled efforts to translocate value away from production. And that was the devil illusion that was happening here in America for like the longest time. So it's like it doesn't matter how talented or how good a person is. For some reason, they just are a certain way. They just got the it. People just know they got the it. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like there was manipulation major when it came to what is beautiful and what is ugly. And that was the effect. The cause, however, was yeah, indiscretion. There it is. Indiscretion. And there it is. And that ends it right there with Nine of Pentacles and then Justice coming through. Indiscretion. Indiscretion. Yeah. Which means it's of unsound discernment, which means that there was no practical skill used to be able to intuit variables, which would have assisted in understanding timelines of situations or understanding times. Yeah. And then there's the Four of Pentacles with the, yeah, this is like insight. This is insight. That is insight. This is insight. And I guess there's been an activation, or there has been and activation of insight throughout the... So this is another thing. It's like things that are being said that are going nowhere, being projected in order to cause there to be... That's what I'm saying. Things being said that are going nowhere. That's the energy of like Babylonian shit, and that's what I was talking about, right? But why I don't like why stupidity is a sin? Because there are things being done, but they're doing nothing. And then there's like the truth here, that there can be things seemingly as if, but that's not... Yeah, exactly. And that's where it was that they were trying to trauma bond with. Okay, and so now there are things that look easy but are actually really difficult, but on two sides of the situation, hard work and effort are put in, right? Whether it be difficult or whether it be easy looking, regardless. Even if something is easy, hard work is still put into it. That's where leverage of time comes in. Yeah, exactly. So they didn't know that they were actually going to pay karmic debt when it came to time. That's another thing. So Saturnian karma, discipline, but they wanted to force this upon... Yeah, and there it is, production value, which would have been to disturb the value of production. Yeah. Whatever goes around always gets back to you. So you gotta be careful, baby. And look both ways before you cross my mind. All right, see you guys later. Bye.